issue of sexual harassment, a number of women have obviously accused you of acts, including groping, including overt sexual harassment of employees. You have pled for people to take an investigation into account. But you were in those rooms. You know the truth. So can you tell the people of the state of New York, yes or no, did you do the things you were accused of?
No. No, and that's why I said when people suggested, yeah, to put it very simply, no.
To all of the acts? The
No.
groping, the sexual harassment,
That's
you're
right.
denying all of
That's
that?
right. Yes.
If Tish James's report comes back and finds the contrary, considering that you've said zero tolerance for sexual harassment in this state, will you discipline yourself or consider resigning?
Yeah, the report can't say anything different because I didn't do anything wrong.
Governor, the New York Times put out a story a couple weeks ago where they interviewed 80 people either close to you or had worked with you, and they detailed accounts that you had said things like anti-trans slurs and also some to the effect of saying that Jews lived in effing tree houses. Did you say those things? And if not,
I never said any such things, and I told the Times that I never said any such thing. They printed slurs and slander, and you'd have to ask them why they did that.
Why would people say those things that you had said them? If
People say a lot of things. People say a lot of things in politics. Why do people say things? Who knows? People are venial, people want attention, people are angry, people are jealous. Who knows why people spread rumors?
Governor, today at the New York State Fair, there are hundreds of open vaccine appointments. There are thousands open at the Javits Center. Why not make some of these vaccine appointments walk-in, especially at these two super large venues?
That is a very good question. And as you know, we have been gauging the opening of the vaccination centers to more and more people. We just opened it to 60 plus on Friday. Today's Monday. On Friday, it went to 60 plus. A priority is getting older people vaccinated, and we wanted to make that point, right? Older people are more susceptible to problems from COVID, so we wanted to stress 60 plus, you're a priority, you should receive. We opened it first to walk-ins. But you are right. What you're seeing is increasing vacancies in mass vaccination sites. There's a curve to this. We always had a population that said they were hesitant and they were going to be hesitant. Even that varies across the state and across the nation. But estimate that at 15, 20, 25, maybe as high as 30% of the population is hesitant. So what you see in the beginning is those people who are willing to take the vaccine, they came in and they're taking it. And that's why the number of vaccinations is going up. At one point, you're going to start to hit that hesitant population. Now, we have such capacity in this state because we worked very hard to develop capacity. I don't think we are at the hesitant population yet, but you see a slowing, there is no doubt, in the number of people who are coming in for vaccinations. So we'll be doing two things. We'll be adjusting the walk-in factor, making it easier for people to walk in. You don't have to wait for an appointment. And we have to get information to that hesitant population. People have to make a decision on the facts. This is not political. This is not cultural. This is medical science.
If people today wanted to come to the State Fair without an appointment, could they drive up here today and get an appointment and get a shot?
Well, you could get an appointment. It's not a walk-in, but if there are appointments available, like there are here, you could call and you can get an appointment. You could come in. So it's not technically walk-in because you have to make an appointment first, but the appointments are available.
Governor, on the issue of your book, you say that people in your staff volunteered to work on this book. Can you provide any documentation of that volunteering, such as opt-in letters or permission from counsel?
The people volunteered to work on the book.
Is there an
And,
documentation of that at all?
yeah, well, the inverse is also true. Do you know anyone who says that they had to work on the book who didn't volunteer? Next question.
That's not, I don't think that's a satisfactory answer. If you're saying that your explanation
Everyone who
is that
worked on the book volunteered.
But there's no documentation on that.
I didn't have them sign a volunteer form, if that's what you're asking.
Is there
Governor,
any
what's
email
the
traffic
status
saying
of-
that they're volunteering?
Well, the inverse is true. Do you know anyone who worked on the book who says they didn't volunteer?
But sir, it was a $4 million book deal for you.
Yeah, but
so
do you know anyone who says they didn't volunteer?
But it's a question of
all
state,
right.
it's a question of state law.
No, it's not.
It is.
The question is, did they volunteer? And I'm saying, yes, they volunteered.
What's the status of the investigation into the state's handling of nursing homes throughout this pandemic, and what have you handed over to the Department of Justice?
They are doing a thorough review of the nursing homes situation. The nursing homes, what that is going to come down to, in my opinion, is the politics of COVID. And it was always a political debate. Frankly, it started between myself and President Trump about who was responsible for COVID. I believe the federal government was slow on COVID. I believe President Trump did not quickly or adequately address COVID. I think the state was left on its own during COVID. It became a very big issue in the presidential election last year. The federal government argued the opposite. They said it was the states who were at fault, said the Democratic governors were at fault, and questioned New York's operation, Michigan's operations, New Jersey's operations, all Democratic states. Federal government then started an investigation on Democratic states, just Democratic states, on nursing homes. So it became highly politicized. And who was to blame? It became a blame game during the campaign. And the political blame game, the federal government then actually turned into an investigation.
Do you still stand by the fact that the undercounted deaths that the Attorney General had released in her report? Do you still believe that that is not the case, that everything was reported?
The number of deaths in nursing homes, first, it is inconsistent all across the country. Different states counted it differently. State of Connecticut just did a report on the number of deaths in nursing homes. Basically an outside report. Basically what they said is different states counted it differently. And in the middle of COVID, the number was shifting dramatically. And the definition of a quote-unquote nursing home death was shifting dramatically. Some states counted probable nursing home deaths. Probable as determined by a nursing home staff once they sent a person to a hospital. So there was a lot of gray. And most importantly, our concern was that the number was accurate. The number was always going to be what the number was, but making sure the number was accurate is what was important. Nursing homes were ground zero for COVID. We all knew that. That was true all across the country. And everybody knows we did everything we could in New York to keep people in nursing homes and every other facility safe. New Yorkers were heroes. And every life that could be saved, we did everything we could to save it. The number and the blame game and the finger pointing, that is just more of the ugly politics of the time. Let's take one more.
Governor, you invited female aides over to your mansion, 20-something-year-olds, one of them being, of course, you interacted with Charlotte Bennett. Do you regret inviting these female aides over, often to help you with technology or phone, especially after the multiple allegations of sexual harassment against you?
No. I have many women who are working in state government. I'm very proud that we probably have more women in senior positions than ever before. And I think that is a good thing. And I think we should encourage people to hire more women in state government, in private practice, in private businesses, and bring them to the highest levels. Thank you very much. Good. You have the last one.
Fair question.
Let's go.
Will there be vaccines required to enter? Will people have to
No.
be vaccinated? No. And
Is that right?
and for vendors who pay money, will they? How will the economics work if they're only guaranteed half of the customer base?
You want to speak to this, Shore?
You know, certainly as we started planning this out, we recognized that there is an issue with that. So our plan is if we're at a 50% capacity, then we'll charge the vendors a 50% of their usual rate to make it fair for everybody.
And Governor, in terms of the curfew, what data backs up closing a bar at midnight as opposed to 2 in the morning?
Well, there is no doubt that if you ask the national experts, they will say that is a source of spread and one of the more significant sources of spread. We've changed the curfew. You know, I am very aggressive. I want to reopen everything tomorrow, right? That's what I would want to do. Get people back to work, get people out of their homes, get everything back to normal tomorrow. The balance is that COVID positivity rate of vaccination, and 41 people died yesterday, right? When people say we're past this, it's over, then you have to say to them, 41 people died. 41 people died. You can't just dismiss that. We're not past it. We're getting past it, but we're getting past it because we're smart and we're doing smart things. And you're wearing a mask and we're social distancing and people are getting vaccines and we have to address the hesitancy problem. That's why we're making progress. But to say, forget all that, just act like it's over, that's how it comes back.
But 10 to midnight is less of a source of spread than midnight to 2?
Yes. Yes. Look, the more we can open, we are, right? Let someone else ask a question. One more question. Sir. Sir, excuse me, Bernadette, you had a number of questions. Let me get someone who didn't have a question.
You're expanding capacity at outdoor stadiums, but not indoor stadiums like the Carrier Dome in Syracuse, where graduation for SU students is just about a month away. Do you expect there might be an expansion of capacity in indoor stadiums, so in a month, when there is that graduation, there might be more guests than are allowed at the moment?
We changed the indoor stadium rules recently. And look, if we keep, or just changed additional rules, more reopening today, if we keep the progress, if we keep being smart, you will see a continual reopening. I have a graphic I do in the PowerPoints. Nobody likes the graphic. I think maybe Commissioner Ball likes it. It's a valve and a number of gauges and a plumbing system. Gauges determine COVID positivity, vaccine rate, number of deaths. When the gauges go down, open the economic valve. And that's what we have been doing. But we've been doing it because the metrics have been coming down. So we have to stay smart, keep being responsible, keep our civic duty, and we'll keep reopening. I'm going to go to work. Thank you, guys. Thank you very much.